close your eyes, rest in the presence, and hold space.
Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. Omega Dantaya Vidmahi Vakrajandaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vignya Karadura Hamare. Ganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Om Vakratundaya Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Pataye Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Pataye Namo Namaha. Suklam Bharadaram Vishnu Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarvavignyopashantaye. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari. Jai Ganesha Gananatha Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. 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 Om Ekadantaya Vidmahi Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Kanganapataye Namo Namaha. Namo Namaha. Namo Namaha. Namo
Namaste. Welcome to our weekly online satsang. Satsang being a fancy Sanskrit word for a spiritual community. Means literally community of truth. Wherever there are two or more people on the path of awakening to the truth, awakening into oneness, whenever we come together, we have a satsang. And we strengthen one another exponentially when we share our journeys this way and share our presence. So we're very glad you're here. The world needs to shift and awaken on a global scale and very quickly, to shift out of this insanity of competition, conflict, and war into a new earth of cooperation, harmony, and peace. That will require a shift in the entire collective consciousness of humanity, not just one or two of us. So we're awakening now one at a time, but with each awakening, it ripples out into the collective consciousness, and the scale is tipping a little bit more and a little bit more. Eventually, when we reach critical mass, the scale will tip all the way into awakening, and humanity will flower, and wars will end. I'm sure we're fine. It's telling me we have used up all our resources.
Oh.
That's not cosmically possible. So, but you never know. So, to assist everyone in this journey of awakening, we share something called the Flowering Heart Blessing. The Flowering Heart Blessing is a direct transmission of awakened divine consciousness that catalyzes awakening in the receiver and the flowering of the heart into oneness with Source and with all that exists. You're soaking in it right now. So if you like it, please join us in sending the Flowering Heart Blessing to everyone who joins us tonight, anyone who watches this video or listens to the audio at any time in the future will receive the very same energy and same blessing that we are tonight. The Divine showed us that this blessing is free. It's the gift of the Divine. It doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the Divine and is freely given. And that once you've received a single one of these blessings, you are initiated and empowered to pass it on yourself. So please join us tonight. Start a blessing circle. If you don't have a blessing group where you live, how much would it take to invite one friend that's open to spirituality, go to our website and hit play on a 36-minute video? 36 minutes later, after going through a guided meditation of initiation, which you can feel, you'll have a blessing circle ready to go and share blessings with one another. That would be a really an auspicious way to assist humanity at this time, besides working on ourselves. Announcements. I don't think we have any announcements right now. Although looking forward to our communion with the interfaith communion with the Cosmic Christ, the end of this month, which will be the last Sunday of the month, July 26th, we'll be looking at the whole armor of God, the subject of spiritual warfare. And people often ask me to talk about it, and I kind of pulled back, but the Lord said to me, it's important that you address this now. So I will. And I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll find it stimulating, inspiring, challenging, and that will be July 26th, Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, online or in person here. Oh yeah, please, I see several of you have given us likes, loves, and a smoochy emoji. I like all of those. But give us a like or a love if you're on Facebook. If you're watching on Vimeo, just enter the chat and announce your name and say hi or namaste. At the end, we go in and look at your names and send you special hugs and blessings. And we don't want to miss out on doing that. We're going to open it to questions and answers about the spiritual journey. I see we already have one, and we'll get back to that in a few minutes. And it's challenging. I'm going to answer it. It's theological. Okay. And that's fine. You can ask philosophical questions. Sometimes the ones that help the group the most are when you share from what you're experiencing in your own journey, obstacles or breakthroughs, and you want some more clarity about what you're experiencing, because we all, at some point or another, experience the same thing along the way. But I'm looking forward to this question you asked, Yekaterina, and everybody else, you can ask inside if that still small voice might be giving you a question to throw in as well in the discussion tonight. And while you're doing that, I'm going to share 15 empathy quotes to inspire kindness. Yeah, kindness is a good thing. And this was compiled by our regular friend and inspiringquotes.com, Joyce Chen. Joyce is a writer, editor, and community builder in Seattle, Washington. So thank you again for this contribution. Here's what Joyce says about empathy. Empathy is a human quality that makes us better partners, relatives, colleagues, and friends. Defined loosely as the ability to understand and share in someone else's feelings. Empathy is one way we can connect with others, particularly those who have different identities or circumstances than us. Empathy can be cultivated and exercised in a number of ways, perhaps most simply by holding space, listening, and extending grace toward others. That's exactly what we do here. That's it. Tuning into people's emotions helps us understand them more clearly, which strengthens and deepens our relationships. Not only that, but empathy helps us get to know ourselves better as well. By putting ourselves in someone else's shoes and imagining how they must feel, we're given the opportunity to view life from a different angle and to expand our capacity to hold other people's struggles alongside our own. Below, we've rounded up 15 quotes that speak to the importance and beauty of empathy in making us more compassionate, wholehearted human beings. So here we go. The great gift of human beings is that we have the power of empathy. We can all sense a mysterious connection to each other. Meryl Streep. Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? Henry David Thoreau. An exchange of empathy provides an entry point for a lot of people to see what healing feels like. Tarana Burke, activist. Empathy begins with understanding life from another person's perspective. Nobody has an objective experience of reality. It's all through our own individual prisms. Sterling K. Brown, actor. Empathy comes from the Greek empathia. M, into, and pathos, feeling. A penetration, a kind of travel. It suggests you enter another person's pain as you'd enter another country. Leslie Jameson, novelist. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had. F. Scott Fitzgerald. I think we all have empathy. we may not have enough courage to display it. Maya Angelou. Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question. What fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I'm about to criticize? Marcus Aurelius, Roman Emperor. This capacity for empathy leads to a genuine encounter. We have to progress toward this culture of encounter in which heart speaks to heart. Pope Francis. Only the development of compassion and understanding for others can bring us the tranquility and happiness we all seek. Dalai Lama. No one reaches out to you for compassion or empathy so you can teach them how to behave better. They reach out to us because they believe in our capacity to know our darkness well enough to sit in the dark with them. Brené Brown. All I ever wanted was to reach out and touch another human being, not just with my hands, but with my heart. Tahereh Mafi, author. Judge tenderly if you must. There's usually a side you have not heard, a story you know nothing about, and a battle waged that you do not have to fight. Tracy Leah LaRussa, writer and illustrator. I do not ask the wounded person how he feels. I myself become the wounded person. Walt Whitman. Learning to stand in somebody else's shoes, to see through their eyes, that's how peace begins. And it's up to you to make that happen. Empathy is a quality of character that can change the world. Barack Obama. It seems to speak to what we face in the world today with so many conflicts, that people are so entrenched in their perspective. It's all how you perceive. And on both sides of, if I were to name the great conflicts going on now, the violent ones in the world, people on both sides sincerely believe they're right. And I like this, that to be able to stand, put yourself in somebody else's shoes and see through their eyes how they're viewing this is how peace begins. I rest with that. You want to add anything?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what?
What?
Okay. Yekaterina erased her question.
Oh.
I want the original. Yeah, I'll answer it anyway. So you replaced with, as an actress, I certainly enter the pain and the joy the character I play is feeling is a magical empathy. Yes, I'm sure that ability is something that is probably, well, it's universal to humans, but certainly to actors,
Right.
I'm sure.
And that's what makes an actor good is, I mean, you can't believe the role if you're not really feeling what that character would be feeling. So that's a beautiful way to express that.
Okay, so you left an abbreviated version, and I'll fill in the blanks. You mentioned that in ancient times, they sacrificed animals to use their blood to make sacrifices to be cleansed of their sins. We read of that in the Hebrew scriptures, and the Hebrews were not the only culture. This was very widespread. And you say, and why did Jesus have to die for us, to sacrifice himself for us, to purify our sins? Can we just pray and change behaviors? Okay, these are two intertwined questions.
But actually a really good put together. I never thought of it that way before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's great and it fits. I'm trying to keep my mind on the original question. So, in ancient times, you pointed out that they sacrificed animals to be cleansed from their sins. Why did they do that? I think they made a mistake. I'll tell you why. There is a scripture, I think it's somewhere in Ezekiel, and I didn't have time to look it up exactly, where God says through the prophet, "You have completely misunderstood me. You think I like you fighting wars over symbols like the Star of David," he said, was the Star of Rephidim of a pagan culture. "And do you think I like the smell of burning animal flesh? You're crazy. Rend your hearts and not your garments." I mean, tear your hearts open, not your externals. But God clearly said through the prophet, I don't like these animal sacrifices. And yet, well, here's where it came from. I'll just read you this verse from one of the books of Moses, the Torah, Leviticus 17, verse 11. "For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul." Okay, I'm going to try to breathe some fresh life into this very... The life. What are we talking about? What life is it? The life force. The life force, the living energy, the chi, the prana, the shakti, the force of life is in the blood. And it says, "And I've given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement." Well, was he saying I've given you the blood to make an atonement? Or I've given you your life? Your life force I've given to you to make an atonement upon the altar. To offer yourself, to offer your life, to offer your strength, to offer everything that you are to the divine upon the altar. He made the reference that the life force is in the blood, but I don't think he was saying that you should make animals do it for you. They had another practice, it's the scapegoat. And they would lay hands on this poor goat once a year, and they would confess the sins of the people into the goat, believing that it was like the life forces in the blood, they were transmitting the sin into the goat, and then they would send the goat out alone in the wilderness to die, and supposedly take away the sins of the people that way. This is called in modern vernacular the being a scapegoat, or making a scapegoat, which is not a positive thing. That's blaming someone else for your own sin and trying to put it on them. Well, but they were sincerely trying to follow what they were hearing. But they made a mistake, I truly believe. And Christ is referred to as the scapegoat. That the people put all their sins on and cut him off, just like a scapegoat. And you pointed out that he offered himself in sacrifice. Well, why? Well, That's a larger question. But for Leviticus 17:11, I would say the life force of the flesh is in the blood, and I've given your life force to you to make an atonement upon the altar by offering yourself as a sacrifice of love, service, and devotion to me. That's what God was trying to say. And he had to come back later through one of the major prophets saying, you totally didn't get it. I don't like the smell of burning animals. I want to see you give me your heart. That's what he was trying to say to them. But it took a while before they were ready to get that. Okay. So why did Jesus even need to do that? Well, maybe he didn't. Thank goodness he did. There's the greatest act of empathy that you can imagine. Here is one that Christians believe to be the cosmic Christ, an aspect of the divine that is pure love and pure mercy and pure healing. It's the spark of the divine at the heart of everything in creation is the Christ. It's existed forever, will exist forever. In India they call it the Paramatma. Some call it the God within or the inner light. So the Christ within, being pure love and penetrating all of creation, saw the plight of humanity. And we were so deeply entrenched in fear, anger, hatred, self-centeredness, selfishness, and all kinds of stuff that to just pray and change our behavior was sort of, on some levels, we're incapable of it. Take something like AA. Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps has produced a structure that helps people that are addicted to many things besides alcohol. It could be drugs, it could be Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, it could be codependency, it could be so many different things the 12 Steps have applied to and helped countless, probably millions of people out of addiction into freedom. And it starts with recognizing my life is out of control. There's stuff going on, I can't change my behavior. I'm out of control. And I need a higher power to help me. So if it was possible for us just to pray and change, we would have done that. That's what I've heard from many people. I heard that in India. Humanity has been trying to pray and change for countless millennia. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. So this isn't just a Christian concept. And it's finally dawning on humanity that no matter how hard we've tried, no matter how much we've prayed, how long we've fasted, all the austerities that we put ourselves through, we can't change ourselves. We can't even effectively control our behavior beyond a certain point, but we have been unable to change ourselves. And that brings us to the huge recognition that I need a higher power to give me grace. It doesn't mean I don't need to keep praying and keep working. Those are all the other steps. I need to work on myself. I need to do all these very important things, but it begins with recognizing that I can't change my behavior. My life is out of control. I need to open to the grace and the help of a higher power. Okay, the Christ, seeing the plight that humanity was in, embraced the human condition. Christ didn't just embrace Jesus of Nazareth. He did certainly embrace him. He was full of it, full of Christ. But the Christ embraced all of humanity, our collective ignorance and selfishness and true empathy. He completely put himself in our place. Now, for a being that powerful to do that, well, in India, it's sort of like the guru will, who will tell the disciple, like I just said, you can't do it yourself. You need the help of a mediator. And many of the great gurus and avatars will take the weight of that disciple upon themselves. The disciple doesn't get to stop working. The work's just beginning, but a powerful cosmic being is lifting the burden with them. And suddenly everything changes. When a being, a divine being like Christ, embraces you and lifts the burden of all of your karma, your samskaras, your sin, it's so liberating. People say they feel like they've been born again. Some people go through that kind of experience, certainly with other manifestations of the divine. But that's why Jesus did what he did. He did it so that, because he didn't do anything wrong. When death claimed him, it's because he allowed it. And he said, this is the only argument I make that I am who I say I am. I'm going to spend 3 days and nights in the pit of the hell realms, and then I'm going to rise. And then you'll know, and only because of that I am who I say I am, and I'm doing what I said I came to do. So after he had completely not just embraced you and me and the trouble we have on earth, he embraced all the souls that had been sunk into darkness over all the millennia, all the thousands of years. But loophole, death couldn't hold him because he had no personal offense. So suddenly he said, hey, I don't need to be here. And probably the gatekeeper was going, what do you mean? Well, show me. Show me the arrest warrant. I mean, show me what I did wrong. He hadn't done anything wrong. So he said, I'm out of here. And he blew the gates off hell, and he went up through all the hell realms. And he reclaimed his body and resurrected and appeared to his disciples and said, see, I told you. And he hung out for a few weeks, and then he ascended in front of hundreds of people on the Mount of Olives, watched him just ascend and just merge with God. It opened a pathway from the deepest hell to the highest heaven for humanity that was stuck. I mean, we had a few of our glowing saints, but the hell realms were just full of souls. And it says in one of the scriptures that during that time, when he was in the pit of hell, he went and preached to souls that had been trapped there long, long ago, so that even though they had died and they had suffered and sunk into the dark realms, they could now live in the Spirit. He brought them the light, brought them the word, and brought them out. And it says that when he rose, he led captivity captive. And that's what it means. He took all the captive souls and he started leading them to freedom. This was also the hallmark of Kuan Yin, Avalokiteshvara, the first bodhisattva. Her heart, who started out as a hymn, was broken, seeing all the souls being sucked into darkness, and all of their prayers and all of their meditation and all of their spiritual work wasn't enough to save them. So Avalokiteshvara tried and Avalokiteshvara was enlightened. One of the direct disciples of the Buddha and fully enlightened, could not stop because there were just too many, and it shattered his heart. And Amitabha Buddha, the Buddha of infinite light, which is likened to God the Father, the Great Spirit, looked down from the light. Amitabha Buddha will never take human form, but saw what had happened to dear Avalokiteshvara and how the heart of the Bodhisattva was shattered in a million pieces. and Amitabha Buddha put all the pieces back together and restored Avalokiteshvara. And he, at that point, began his effective ministry as a bodhisattva and liberating countless souls into the light, and began to travel to the east and went through Tibet and became, Tibetans called him Chenrezig, which is the Tibetan name for Avalokiteshvara. And that's the patron saint of Tibetan Buddhism. Then he traveled to China, and during that time he morphed into feminine form because that just more fully, truly embodied the heart of compassion and empathy that he was expressing. And he became called Kuan Yin. I love that story. But it parallels the story of the Bodhisattva and the compassion of Christ have certain parallels. But that's why, in a word, that Jesus did it was out of compassion. Did he have to do it? No, not really. That's why there's the story of Christ the night before his crucifixion, weeping in the Garden of Gethsemane, struggling because his body, his humanity did not want to be sacrificed. But deeper, his true being wanted to help humanity and do the will of the Father. And he said, "Not my will, but your will be done." And he wrestled all night long to come to that firm place and to go all the way. So that wouldn't have been a struggle at all. That would not have been a trial for Jesus if he had no choice. I mean, it's like, you just have to do it. He was like, "I don't want to do this. Father, take this cup from me. I don't want to go, but your will be done." So, in a word, it was out of compassion and empathy and the pure unconditional love that brought him to this world as a divine being to help liberate humanity. Yeah, so there you go. Okay. And that wasn't the short answer, but it wasn't the long one either. Michael Christopher writes, "Prayers for my heart, please. A lot of blessings, but the wounds still there. Ask for God's grace to have years of wounds healed. Thank you." Certainly we will. I feel on the inside, I heard the wounded healer. When our deep heart wounds are healed, we receive the grace to bear them. But not to forget them, not to become insensitive to them. Some wounds we carry for life, and it gives us empathy and compassion for the suffering of others, Michael. And I'm not afraid, but you're one of those folks who is called to help others, to empathize, to hear their stories, to feel deeply their struggle. And you do it in several ways in your life. And so, yes, we want to be healed of that part that is so biting that we become non-functional. But we shouldn't expect it to be totally taken away, that we forget that deep agony that the person sitting in front of us is going through. And Paul said it's through your sufferings that you have the empathy, the sensitivity to share your faith and help lift others in their suffering. When someone comes to you, what was that quote? When someone comes to us in their suffering, and they ask for compassion and empathy, they're not asking for us to teach them how they could behave better. They're believing that we're so much in touch with our own brokenness and our own darkness that we might be able to sit with them in theirs. And that's the healing. Okay. And Yekaterina will pray too. Well, I think that's it. You want to add to any of that?
Nope.
Well, okay then. I gave you both a Christian and a Buddhist sermon. I could give you others. There are many beautiful, surrendered souls who have transcended ego. And in that place of transcendence of that single ego, suddenly expand to embrace 8 billion humans whose hearts are clamoring for liberation and freedom. And now, that's you. You just went from being one walled-off little ego to being a cosmic being that feels with genuine empathy the plight of humanity, which is a single being expressing through 8 billion forms. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and invoke. Invoke the presence, the divine presence, who dwells within you in all of its fullness. The divine being within you is infinite. You're not a drop of the ocean. The entire ocean is within you, drop. It's in you. All of the infinity of the Godhead. Unconditional love, omnipotence, omniscience, all within you now. And you are not separate from this all-powerful, all-knowing being of pure love. It is your true essence. It is our true self. And it yearns for us to awaken, to realize, to break out of the chains of feeling separate, distant, weighed down with so many cares and so much pain. All in the mind and the emotions. The divine wants to dissolve the veil of separation for you and draw you effortlessly into its loving embrace and pull you into the center of yourself, where you are one with all that is. And there is joy unspeakable, bliss, unconditional love. This has been the plan all along. You don't need to beg or struggle. Just let go and give yourself to the divine presence. Allow it to take you into the center of all that is. To dissolve all of the minds in your mind field, all the wrong thinking, all the negative emotions, all the stored memories of misery, all of the plans and programming. The divine will dissolve it all if you just relax and receive the light that is pouring out in you, through you, and to you. It will inspire your soul with divine thoughts, divine feelings, the programs that really work. It will shine out into your body and dissolve your dis-ease. Just relax, let go, and receive. Be filled. Breathe, breathe, breathe in the light of life. And exhale and release yourself into the heart of God. Imagine us all sitting in a circle together, our eyes closed, our hands lifted up with our palms open, facing forward. We invite the divine to pour the flowering heart blessing, Hridaya Vikasa Diksha, through you and me and all of us to each other. We open ourselves. Let the blessing flow through you to all of us in the circle. As it flows through you, it heals you, it clears you, it awakens and transforms you. And it flows back to you through all the rest of us. Leave your pain and your wounds in the middle of that circle. Leave your burdens in the center of our circle as we call upon the divine to make direct intervention in your life to help you. To give you the strength. That you need. Let us envision the planet Earth in the middle of our circle, covered with 8 billion plus human beings, many of whom are trapped in fear, hatred, hardness of heart. Let us tonight ask the divine to flood every human heart with compassion and empathy. Empathy to feel the other, that peace may begin. If I truly feel you, I cannot kill you. For what I feel is that you are me and I am you. We are one and the same. I love you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. And now as we begin the light meditation, relax your hands in your lap and open your eyes. And begin to make direct eye contact with Suzanne and or me. Just keep direct contact, gazing at least one of our eyes. During the light meditation, Suzanne and I are flooded with oceans of light, love, grace for you. As you keep looking, that's all you need to do. The light shines out through our eyes, in through your eyes, into your heart of hearts, causing the light of awakening and the flames of divine love to grow brighter and brighter and brighter within, transforming you. Just keep looking and receiving. Close your eyes now. Meditate with us for just a few more minutes. Now keep meditating as long as you like, or find a place nearby and lie down in Shavasana. Shavasana is a lovely and very easy yoga pose. You just lie comfortably on your back, with your eyes closed, your arms loosely at your sides with your palms open and turned upward, and just let yourself dissolve with gratitude in the presence. We love you so much.
Much love, light, and blessings.
Until we meet again, know that the divine in us beholds the divine in you, and we bow to you. Namaste.
Namaste.